Welcome to the Horr-Gasm podcast, the show where the serial killer isn't coming for you, you're coming for them. I'm Nick, and this is my co-host, Allie.
Sup, bitches?
Thank you for joining us wherever you are.
Yeah.
Bitches.
Bitches. Sup, bitches? I feel like I needed something edgier. So I've been going like, hey. I feel like very like, hey. So I wanted to be like hard, Lana. So,
Nothing like bitches.
yeah. To really put you, show you where you're at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in the most nicest, best way for
Right.
our lovely fans.
Because it can be like, like, sup, bitches. Or it can be like, sup, bitches. Like, it can be, it's a term of endearment.
And we can now see we are pretty much worldwide.
We are. Oh my
we
gosh.
Are worldwide. We got some listener in, was Australia?
Australia. Mexico,
that's the other one.
New Zealand.
I'm sorry for our Mexican listeners, maybe one or two of them. We don't know Spanish.
No, we don't. I can say like a couple phrases in French. I think that's about as
I gave up
multilingual.
French as soon as I could in school.
It's as soon as I got to the verbs. Like I couldn't do like that, windows were female, like la fenêtre. I think a window is. And like, why is that feminine? And then you have a certain verb to go with it. And I was like,
so stupid.
I can't do this. I can, barely remember what gender I am most days.
My French memories are from Sesame Street.
And you know what? That's good.
Good old Canadian Sesame Street with the polar bear and the otter.
You're going to appreciate this. So we were doing CrossFit at work for a month. You know this. Our listeners don't, so that's what I'm saying. And we were at work, and my boss was like, oh, do you know what lactic acid is? And I was like, well, yeah, lactic acid is when you work out. Your muscles secrete acid. He's like, wow, you actually know a lot about this. How'd you learn that? Magic school bus. The episode with Miss Frizzle fighting against a guy from her old school, and they go into her body and mop up her lactic acid.
You know what?
It was one of my proudest and saddest moments in my life.
That's a perfect setup for our talking shop.
Perfect. I totally did it on purpose then.
Totally.
I'm having a breakdown.
One thing I wanted to bring up, we got to talk about here, Dr. Sleep and trailers and a snoring.
Holy man, that was a grunt and a half.
That was a snore. But before we get to the trailers and Dr. Sleep, I want to bring up some movies that aren't horror, but could be.
Which is interesting. When you talked about this the first time, I was getting all excited because I was like, yeah, that's a good idea. Like, really, because some things that are ordinary are so scary.
And all it takes is one little switch
to
make
all
it
takes.
To horror. Like, okay, like you're saying, watching the Magic School Bus.
Yeah.
Like, that could be a horror movie.
What if it was like Maximum Overdrive, which we watched this week, and the school bus was like crazy and magical?
What if it just shrunk and the people inside didn't shrink?
Or that.
Smush.
Yeah. Or it like took them like, say, inside Miss Frizzle's body and they couldn't get out. What do you do?
That's how she eats, and she has different students every year. They keep going on dangerous, hazardous field trips.
Right?
That'd be cool.
It would be cool. Scary.
But there's some other ideas I thought for, because that kind of popped in my head this week. Just movies that because Disney Plus came out, and I'm just Disney Plus, cool. What if these were all horror? What if Disney was all horror movies? And I started going through different movies in my head that are strictly, family and not, horror related, and make them horror.
Yeah.
And so I'll share some with you, like Alice in Wonderland.
Yes.
Basically, it alone could be seen as a horror with the Red Queen and chopping off people's heads.
It's a creepy movie.
This is what really got me going on this from the song. And I forget what it's called now. But it's an older song where the singer sings about, basically it's a song about Alice in Wonderland.
Cool.
And one of the lines is the mouse says, Alice, keep your head. Or, keep your head or feed your head.
Sure.
And I'm thinking, that's kind of scary, for Alice in Wonderland. As a kid, like I remember there's a live action version.
Yes.
And I think it ended with the big dragon thing.
Like the one that came out, like where Johnny Depp was the Mad Hatter?
No. Maybe. It
was like 2010.
No, this is like old 90s
Okay.
live action Alice in Wonderland.
I'm thinking about more the...
No, this is me.
No, I'm thinking of... I don't know.
But there's it's not the dragon.
Sure.
It's like a dragon, but it's called a different name.
Sure.
But I remember as a kid, that kind of popped out. I'm like, ooh, this is scary.
Yeah.
And this is Alice in Wonderland. What the heck? This is a kid's, movie.
Mm-hmm.
I know years ago they made a PC game called Alice. It was very goth noir, scary.
Doesn't it start off with like the rabbit hanging himself or something?
I haven't played it. I remember it was like an old
spoiler alert.
But
I think lots of YouTubers have played it, that Alice game, and it is like an Alice in Wonderland horror game.
Yeah, it's very very gothic.
Yeah,
I remember like the pictures had her, in all black and white, same garb, but just black and white. And she had a knife with blood on it. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, this looks interesting.
Yeah.
And, all it would take would be, take the original, idea where this girl who was on drugs went to, she was so out of it that this is all in her mind.
But, when you think of, older, in quotation, Disney movies, lots of them are terrifying. Have you watched Pinocchio lately?
No.
Holy fuck. Dallin and I watched it the other day. It was terrifying. It's scary.
With the...
And I was telling my parents, I was like, we watched Pinocchio and, it legit scared me. And my mom and dad are like, yeah, that's a scary movie. It's creepy.
It's got not Moby Dick, but it's got the big whale at the end. It's got boys and,
the island they take them to, and, they smoke cigars and drink beer and then get turned into donkeys.
They turn into jackasses.
That's scary.
And I think that was kind of, the goal, to scare kids straight.
Like Snow White, when she's running through the forest, that scared me every time. And there's a ride in Disneyland called Snow White's Scary Adventure, and it is still scary. It's creepy. Bambi, sad, terrifying. Dumbo? Oh my gosh.
That's more sad than scary. That's sad. Except when he gets drunk. A lot of it has to do with drugs and alcohol.
Right.
He gets drunk in the elephants.
Yes.
Dance around. Elephants on Parade, I think it's called, or something.
Oh, I just think some of them, you almost twist that one antagonist. You twist them just a little bit extra, just make them a little extra angry and misplaced intentions. And it could be scary, super scary. Beauty and the Beast was one beast attack away.
Oh yeah.
From being a horror movie.
Yep.
Right?
Even Wizard of Oz.
Oh,
the original book was a horror. It was very graphic. The Tin Man was very... It's really almost tragic how he became the Tin Man. He was...
I remember.
He was a woodsman.
Mm-hmm.
And I think some witch or someone bewitched his axe. And every time he swung, he would lose a body part. And some guy kind of kept rebuilding him. And he was rebuilt, but he left out the heart.
Right.
And it's... And also, someone wrote a book titled Wizard of Oz with zombies.
Oh.
It was a full-on, basically same plot, same idea. Dorothy, falls from a tornado, kills a witch. But at the same time, all the little people, the...
Munchkins?
No. Munchkins and the Winkies.
Okay.
Again, this is from the book.
Okay.
The Winkies were all zombified. And they were chasing her, and it was a neat read. It was really cool. Robin Hood would be an interesting horror. Think of it this way.
Well, I was going to say, walk me through that.
So, the classic Robin Hood, he steals from the rich, gives to the poor.
Right.
What if he steals more than just gold from the rich? What if the poor are starving? He steals body parts from the rich and feeds it to the poor.
Interesting.
Robin Hood make him it's less of an outlaw, more of a cannibal. Or, more of a monster,
I was going to say more of what if, when he goes to steal, he, like kills them and stuff like that, and steals more, does more than steal, like mutilates them or something, like Jack the Ripper's people and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like one character, if you turn them just a bit, like it could be really creepy.
It could be really good. It could be a very huge twist. Mary Poppins, again, original story. She was a very brutal, mean person, but they sweetened her up for the Disney version.
Right.
Bring back the mean streak. Have her, have I forget the kids' names in the movie, but have them being little shits, and like have them run into like an old man that she used to babysit or watch over. Have him missing his tongue. Have some who are missing their fingers and toes for not listening to Mary Poppins.
Yikes!
There is on YouTube. They took the movie and turned it into a horror trailer.
Fun.
And it looked funny, but it was a really cool idea. Like just when she slides across the master, just her eyes, the glare, and the music, just ramped up to very foreboding, spooky music. So
I could get into that.
There is so many movies that just one or two little changes can be turned into a horror. Yes,
I totally agree. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, because intentions are like such a part of horror, like with let's say Michael Myers. He was just like he happened to be, I think kind of the story is he's an abused kid, and something could have happened, and obviously that warped him, and there's that whole nature versus nurture talk. Yeah. But he could have been, if he didn't go like that, he could have been a normal human, or been like, I'm going to repress this until I'm old enough to talk to a psychiatrist or something, right? Like even that, like you could go the opposite way, and horror movies could just be nothing, if people are given the right amount of help and stuff. But like it's cool, it
is. It takes 1-2 little changes, to flip it over.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and also like the music is a big thing with horror movies as well. Like take the Halloween theme and throw it in The Nightmare Before Christmas. Like that would change the tone completely.
Yes, because like Nightmare Before Christmas, I always watched as a kid. Like I loved that movie when I was a kid, and I didn't think it was such like a cult following with older people as well, which like I'm super stoked it is.
Yeah.
But it's interesting how people just kind of glom onto something that's kind of gothic and nostalgic and creepy, and they're like, yeah, I identify with this. This is cool. Jack not fitting in and everything. Like, it's so easy to identify with those characters.
Yeah, and he's tired. He's tired. He needs something new.
Yeah, sick of the same old.
And everyone else
Aren't we all?
364 days until next Halloween. And yay.
It's like, there's got to be something in between that.
Yeah.
Right?
There should be.
I'm glad he discovered Christmas.
All right. Also, let's kind of keep this talking shop ball rolling.
Whoop whoop.
You saw Dr. Sleep.
I sure did.
What did you think? With keeping spoilers?
I will not do spoilers. Don't worry. Because we had just watched The Shining, I went in like with it very fresh in my brain. It's not a spoiler that what's his name? I can't think of the main character's name. Obi-Wan. What's his name? Real life.
Ewan McGregor.
He plays Dan Torrance. Yeah. And he meets another little girl with the shine. And there's these people who come and eat people with the shine, like eat their essence, basically, eat their shine. Oh. So that's the whole plot of the movie. And the bad people want to find this little girl because she has like a whale of a shine, they call it. Oh. So that's how they feed and stay young and stuff, is they eat people's shine. But there was just, I thought it was a little slow. Like the first hour of the movie I thought was really slow, and pieces I think they could have cut out. But overall it was really good. Like it was, it was a lot like The Shining. Like they did the same sort of pacing as The Shining. And I thought that was really interesting. And like, I don't know, parts of it, like it's a lot more graphic than The Shining though. Like it's graphic. Like you're gonna see a lot of blood.
Because the first one had only the one kill.
Oh yeah, there's a lot more in this one.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I think it was really good. Yeah, I liked it. It's hard to talk about without spoiling because the whole movie is basically a spoiler. But I think everybody should go see it.
Oh, cool.
Especially if you like horror movies and if you like those psychological kind of slow burn ones like The Shining. Like the last like half hour of it is so fast paced. Like it's all of a sudden like, okay, here we are, we're doing this, let's get into it. Oh, and cool. It's, the last half hour itself is worth watching the movie, I think.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'll have to go check it out.
You should. You really, really do. I think our audience would too. I'd love to hear what other people thought. Because when I was reading the reviews after, everybody was like, oh, it's so good. It's perfect. It's...
I heard it was really good, a good adaptation.
Yes, I agree.
Someone, I think it was Chris Jericho, said it was the most faithful adaptation of a Stephen King book.
And the thing is that they took pieces from the book and the movie because people know The Shining more so from the movie than the book, right?
Yeah.
So he added Stephen King's book and Stanley Kubrick's movie and kind of mashed them together.
Oh.
And it was really good how they did it. Yeah, it was interesting. I really want to read the book now, though. We might have to get some books.
Yeah, I think so.
Yay. And Nick, what about the trailer for Fantasy Island that just came out?
I mentioned this after we went to I went to the little expo here in Saskatoon, and Michael Rook said he was filming the horror version of Fantasy Island, and it dropped yesterday, I believe.
Yes,
and it looks really good.
And that's actually where I saw the trailer. I was gonna say I follow Michael Rooker on that. We do, I guess. Horr-Gasm follows him on Instagram.
Yep.
And I was like, what the heck is this? And then I clicked on it and I was like, oh, it's Fantasy Island. It looks really good.
It looks really cool. It's a very twist to the show.
Yes.
And almost like, their fantasy is like each one's death.
Yes.
Like I have no idea what the movie's about.
Yeah.
Besides, they go to this island. It looks neat.
Yeah.
It looks spooky. It's got some good scary spots. It looks like it looks neat. I'm excited for that.
I think it's going to be a fun watch. And I like the actors and actresses that are in it. I think they have a really good cast.
Oh, good.
And I think that's going to pay off. Yay.
And also, I think I've mentioned this before, but I guess it's now really been confirmed. Bruce Campbell, Sam Raimi are going ahead with an Evil Dead 6.
So exciting. So exciting.
I think 6. Or 4. There's 3 movies. There's a remake. It's 4.
So this will be
there's 5. Yeah, but also the TV series.
I was going to say, if you don't count Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Yeah, that's 5. So I guess
they're coming out with a new installment.
There's a new one. Now, is it going to be continuing the TV show, which I hope, because it ended on a big cliffhanger, as usual.
Of course.
Or they'll just do something after Evil Dead 3.
Sure.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But this is great news. This is awesome, exciting,
We
news.
love Evil Dead in this house.
Yeah.
So we're really excited for it.
I already can't wait.
I know.
I'm pumped.
I know, right? Oh, gosh. Well, Nick, should we get into Maximum Overdrive?
I think it's time to put the pedal to the metal.
Woo.
Shift gears.
0 to 60.
0 to 60.
Car talk.
And let's talk about Maximum Overdrive.
All right, Nick. So this week we watched Maximum Overdrive.
This is day 2. Podcast 2 of Stephen King, back to back in a row. We did The Shining last week. We're doing Maximum Overdrive, another Stephen King story into a movie. There's a bunch.
Oh man, there's so many.
This is the first, and I think only one directed by Stephen King.
Betcha.
Yeah.
As we learned from the trailer, we watched the trailer after we watched the movie, and it was a thing. If you want to see something fun, YouTube Maximum Overdrive trailer, because that was a thing.
Yeah, after watching, let's watch it again. Yay! But that's not the movie we kind of watched.
Yeah. It's like, okay, let's take every solitary, cut, scary part from the movie, smush them all together, and trick people to come in to watch.
They've done it before with other movies. So
right.
Do it again.
it's going to happen till the end of time.
All right, well, this movie came out in 1986. This was,
Yes.
I was 2 when it came out.
Proud
you
of
were
you.
not even...
I was a twinkle in my father's eye.
There you go. Where did you first hear about Maximum Overdrive?
I actually first heard about it when I was listening to the Dead Meat podcast, which is another horror movie podcast that I love. They actually reviewed this movie a couple of years ago, I think. And I remember I was listening to it. I was actually walking, and I was listening to it, and I was like, man, this movie sounds terrible. I want to watch it. Which is normally how it goes. If something I hear somebody doesn't like something, I was like, I gotta watch it and prove them wrong. There's gotta be some good parts to it. Yeah. Which I think there was in this for sure. So that's how I heard about it, was secondhand listening to another podcast. How about you? Because I know you've seen it before.
I have. I saw it on TV. I own the movie. I've watched it a few times.
Would they even have to edit anything out to put it on TV? Asking for a friend.
Just language.
Yeah, honestly, I guess. Yeah, there's lots of fucks and shits and bitches. Yeah, you're right.
Other than that, though, no, it's a pretty tame horror movie.
Sure. That's exactly how I would describe this.
Really
Somebody asked if they wanted to watch it.
No nudity, nothing excessive. Although, reading the trivia, I wish they kept the one death.
The steamroller.
Yeah, this little fun, like, kid gets run over by a steamroller. Mm-hmm. And originally they had a bunch of blood bags around there to simulate, like a stain.
Yes.
They kind of squashed it early and they just sprayed everywhere. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking that would have been such a great scene.
Yes.
But no. Censors had to say, it's too much. That's too graphic.
It's too scurry.
We got to take that out. Okay. So it's just a very...
Which I think that scene, like that whole scene with like the pop cans or whatever they are, the pop cans and the steamrollers and stuff, and kids getting belted by pops.
So funny.
Sounds like the best job in the world. I think that was the best scene in the movie. Don't laugh at me. I think that's the best scene in the movie, and I wish they just kind of would have carried that over to other parts of the movie because it had so much potential.
I love because the one kid, when they're showing the shots of the kids, just kind of watching the coach as he gets beat by cans.
Just destroyed.
He's standing like he's ready to just sprint away somewhere.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, kid, what's
what are you doing?
You're under a rush for somewhere. You're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You're getting paid to be here. So.
Yeah. I think I'm sure I first watched on TV. Again, TBS had a bunch of edited for TV movies.
It seems like an easy one to edit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And when I watched it, I was like, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
What really stuck out, I think, is one of I call it the star of the movie, is the Green Goblin Semi.
Sure.
He is the star of this movie.
Well, for sure.
It's on the old front cover. It's a very neat design.
Well, you could see that it's the most iconic part of the movie. Oh, definitely. Even in the trailer that we were just mocking, Stephen King standing in front of it the whole time. Yeah.
And it's the Green Goblin, which is huge from the Spider-Man fame. It's one of his biggest villains. Yeah. And it just stands out. Mm-hmm. So, and it's such a really good, it's a good piece of...
It looks like a hood almost.
Yeah.
Right? Like they they put it on the hood and then just flopped the hood on top. So it kind of like... Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's almost like it's like the grill, like the front.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Less hood, more just front. Mm-hmm. I think that's the most iconic part. 100%. That is the most iconic, well-known, probably thing of this entire movie's itself.
And that's what you would remember.
Yeah.
Right? That bright green kind of face.
Yeah, the big, the big
trying to mow
face.
You down.
Yeah. Like what? There's killer machines? What's that movie? Green Goblin face. Oh yeah, I know that movie. That's a good one. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it almost overshadows Emilio Estevez, who again he stars in his movie.
Yeah.
He's Bill. We got Wanda June.
The waitress.
Waitress. Bill. No, Bill's and Estevan. Duncan, Handy, Joey are the truckers and
other
the other gas
Joey's attendant. The other worker, yeah. And then we got Bubba Hendershot. He's like the owner
Yeah, he's this...
The most annoying person. Second most annoying person in this movie. Can you believe there's more than one person contending for most annoying human?
It's rare. For movies, that's rare.
Right? Like, they... excuse me, they usually have, like, one person who obviously is there to hate.
Yeah.
But they had more than one in this one. Like, even Joey was kind of shitty.
Joey was, like, the simple, just... jarhead,
like the Igor to Bubba's kind of Dr. Frankenstein.
He's a little lackey.
Yeah.
Yeah. But who else? Because we got... so
those are all the people at the truck stop that started the truck stop.
Yeah. We got the just married couple, Curtis and Connie.
Yes. And Connie is...
I hate Connie.
Yes, Connie is the other one that's in the running for most annoying person, most hated person in this show.
Her personality is stupid. And annoying.
Because she's voiced by
Yeardley Smith.
Yeah, Yeardley Smith, who voices Lisa in The Simpsons. It's also that like annoying, like high pitched twang, and then she tries to put a twang on it. Oh,
it's so.
But the only thing you got to give her is her screams. Her screams were fabulous.
Yes.
The very first scream.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
But then after that, she fizzles out as a character. She's so annoying.
She becomes just the annoying one who...
Curtis, don't do that. Curtis, you're going to kill yourself. Curtis. Oh
Curtis, where are you going? Don't you go out there and help that boy.
Yeah, Curtis, don't die on our honeymoon. Curtis.
We just got married. I could be a widow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Stop.
And the slang in this movie is hilarious.
Oh, that like southern twang.
Yeah.
So good.
I like this bone where it jumbles my cookies. Like, who says that?
That's Stephen King. Right?
No, that's right. No, you're right. That's
Stephen
King. But still.
Oh.
For some other characters, we got Camp Loman, this Bible guy. He goes around, he's kind of like a hustler.
Yeah, he's like a door-to-door salesman.
Yes, with Bibles. And Brett, who he picks up, and he's trying to get all touchy-feely at the beginning.
Yeah, she's a hitchhiker.
Yeah, she's kind of like just wandering the world and hitchhiking away.
Yeah.
Who can take care of herself, we find out. And Deke, Duncan's son. He's one of the workers.
Subtitles kept saying Zeke, so I wrote Zeke down for the first half of the movie, and then when Emilio Estevez is talking, he's like, "Oh, Deke, it's okay," and I was like, "Wait a second." So what's your name? Yeah, these subtitles. I don't know what the movie looks like. It's a DVD, so it looks like it.
The thing is, a lot of subtitles, they half-ass it sometimes.
Like really?
Yeah.
I think I'm the only person in the world who enjoys subtitles.
Well, it's a good way just to kind of focus what's being said.
Yeah.
Also, one of the other stars who are totally not really credited.
Sure.
AC/DC.
Oh, yeah.
This movie is full of AC/DC hits.
The music is the best part of this movie. I could just listen to the soundtrack and I'd be like, yeah, it's better than Maximum Overdrive.
You just gotta put on AC/DC soundtrack or like just a disc of any of their songs.
Just drive fast. Try to hit some people.
And there's this soundtrack to Maximum Overdrive. It's a great soundtrack.
Oh,
it really
it's so good. I think it's the best part of the movie.
Oh yeah.
I'm just gonna say it.
And again, they like us with this podcast. There's shameless plugging right at the beginning. There's this van that has AC/DC on the side.
Yep. Love it.
It's good.
Well, they had to have been compensated like a lot to do this, right?
I'm sure they must have.
Yeah, that's like I'm watching some YouTubers play Death Stranding right now, and you don't drink water in the game; you drink Monster Energy. And it's like displayed all over your little room. It's like, you know what? Monster Energy.
That's
good for them.
Hideo Kojima go-to.
Yeah,
he always does that. With Metal Gear Solid,
for sure.
He did that all over the place. I'm not surprised. That's not a surprise at all for me.
It was just random because I'm like, Monster Energy? Like, really? Like, that's how you fuel up and get your stamina up. I'm like, okay, sure. Like, you're obviously getting paid a lot to throw that in there.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. Love it. Oh, so let's get into the movie. I think we've already kind of talked about the beginning where we're kind of meeting.
Well, it starts off basically a little bit of exposition, how there's a comet
asteroid or something.
A comet goes by Earth and we go through the tail end of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to last for like 8 days, 20-some hours, so many minutes and seconds. And, we get some people kind of driving around, and this bridge, the old bridges where they lift up over rivers for boats to go over, just lifts up on its own.
Yeah.
All by itself, and some people, I'm guessing they die. They fall into the river. They're all like, what the hell's going on? This one, the workers are freaking out because, the gates didn't go down. This shouldn't be happening. Well, it is.
It is. Sorry.
Yeah. And, and then we kind of go right to
bumping through all the characters. Yeah.
What, actually, before we go there, we go see Stephen King himself.
Oh, yeah.
At an ATM, trying to get money out, and it says, "You are an asshole." And he's like, "What? What? honey, this machine here called me an asshole." And it just asshole. And it kicks into some AC/DC, and
then we do the bridge scene.
Then we do the bridge scene, and we go right to, I believe, the truck stop.
Yeah. And the guy who's driving the Green Goblin truck just kind of pulls up and says he needs some fuel and whatnot. And while that's all happening, there's a guy in the arcade. They have a little arcade area that they've got a couple pinball machines, it looks like, and a cigarette dispenser, stuff like that. And all of a sudden, they just kind of start like blinking, and the glass cracks. And he's like, whoa, what the heck? And the cigarette machine just starts spewing stuff out, and the quarter machine is spitting out coins. So he starts grabbing cigarettes
That's
and
a smart
stuff.
Guy.
Which is, much smarter than the coins.
Yeah.
Worth more than the coins. And so then he's, I don't know, grabbing everything, and he looks at one of the games, and it's like flashing images like plus sign, star. And he's just like mesmerized.
See, I thought he was going to like get hypnotized. It's going to make him do something.
Right.
But no, it just, he kind of...
touches it.
Yeah, he's like, ooh, what's that? And he gets electrocuted.
Yeah.
And he's dead.
He's very dead. That's, that's our first death, I think, of the movie.
Big first death.
Yeah, and then also, Duncan, one of the main characters we talked about, he's filling up the Green Goblin, and gas starts coming out of the hose. And so he's like, of course, the typical thing. What do? You put it in your eyes and look right down the barrel.
Yeah, it stops. He's like, what the heck? And he puts his finger in there and he's blowing in it, trying to think that's going to do anything. And of course, he gets splurted in, squirts in his face and eyes. And that is the dirtiest diesel I've ever seen.
It is like black tar. It is disgusting.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
And so he just kind of drops and goes into a field position, just screaming like, okay, well, that must hurt.
Yeah, I haven't done that before, but I'm assuming it hurts.
Yeah.
Then I think like Zoolander and the gas fight, like none of them had red eyes.
No.
Not that that's like what I choose to base realism on.
A freak gas fight incident.
Oh, I love that movie so much. I forgot about. Yeah, that's good. So then we flip to Wanda June also. She's cooking breakfast while Bill, like Emilio Estevez, is talking to Bubba. And as she's cooking, she's not really paying attention, and she gets cut by an electric knife. So this is them kind of setting up that machines are not working right.
Yeah, they're getting taken over.
Yeah, they're trying to set it up a bit.
Yeah, it must be the comet tail. It's affecting everything machine in the world.
Things going crazy.
And they kind of get cut to other people in places having incidents. Like there's a little league game.
Yeah.
And the one team, they win, and the coach, I'll get you boys some pops. That's a good, or some soda, sorry. Soda. Yeah. This is the States.
This is the States.
Get some sodas for the boys.
Yes.
Then he puts the coin in. He's trying to get the soda out. Damn Canadian lip. Yeah. and so nothing's coming out. So of course, banging on it, and a pop can shoots out, hits him in the groin. He's like, drops down to his knees, hits him in the gut, gets a lower, and smokes him in the face.
Yeah.
And then of course the little kids are all laughing, and then when he's down with a big, he's got like a round.
Ooh. Yeah, you don't really see it until afterwards when the makeup people come in and put it on. Holy man!
It's a good bloody shot from that pop can. And it starts shooting out, tons of pop cans. The kids are getting knocked down, and 2 of them are, I guess, dead.
There must have just been a ton of extras just hucking pop cans at kids. Because they're getting, bolted. They're really getting hit.
They would have to be empty.
Right? Sadly. But then how would they hit them? Because they wouldn't fly that far. They must have been weighted or something. Right? Like a little bit.
Yeah.
Because that would hurt.
Who knows? Well.
Yeah.
But yeah, they go down. Deke, he's one of the little leaguers, and he just takes off on his bike, and he sees one of his friends who's on a bike too, falls over, and
Zamboni.
Steamroller.
Steamroller comes out of nowhere.
And of course, kids lying there like, oh no, I can't move, and it just flattens him.
Yes.
And no blood, just a little boy getting run over by a steamroller.
We kind of get a front view with his hair, but it's very brief. It's gets to his headish area.
Basically, you see from steamroller point of view, going up to the boy, and then you get probably from upper chest to head getting squashed.
Yeah.
And then Deke just he's like, oh, I'm out of here, and he takes off.
Yes.
And he's out. He's running.
Yes. And this is when we get to the car driving, and we see Brett, who I guess is a hitchhiker, and she's with this. What was his name? I forget. The Bible guy. No, he's a Bible guy. And
Camp Loman.
And so he's trying to talk to her about life, and he keeps putting his hand on her thigh and stuff. But
there's the rules of the road where you're hitchhiking, you gotta
pay up.
Yeah.
And so
ass, cash, or grass.
Yes. And so she's trying to listen to the radio because obviously shit's going down. And she finally tunes in. They're like, if you are on the freeway, get off. So she grabs the wheel and turns into this truck stop. And then he gets out and starts freaking out at her. And that's when the Green Goblin car, or truck, starts up all on its own and tries to smash him. And they notice that there's nobody in the cab. But I think they think he might have jumped in the back or something. But we, as an audience as well, see that there's nobody driving.
Yeah.
So, another
Bill goes and investigates, and he's looking through, and it's empty. And he's like, oh, I must have, snuck out somehow.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah. And then we go to the just married couple, which is Connie and Curtis. And they're driving. The reason we call them that is they're driving in a car with that big just married spray painted or whatever on their back windshield. Yeah. So we assume what just happened. And they drive to a gas station to fuel up, and they see a dead guy.
Yeah, one of the many who were killed by machines.
Yeah.
Skynet took over.
That would be great.
That'd be interesting.
And so then they see a truck with no driver as Curtis is banging on the doors and stuff, and it tries to run him over, and he kind of gets smushed by a lamp, but he's fine. So he jumps back in, and this is one of my favorite lines. After he gets Connie can't see if he gets hit or not, and then the lamppost falls on him, and she's just sitting in the car, and she's like, "Are you dead?"
I hate her. I hate that character.
I just, why don't you go check instead of Curtis, are you dead? What a downer.
Yeah. He jumps in, and she's a crazy driver.
Yeah, she's getting the hell out of Dodge. Yep. That's for sure.
And they do. They book her out there, and they start traveling away from everything.
Yeah, that little, wherever they were, that little convenience store, gas station thing.
Yeah, like the tow truck that almost hit Kurt. Yeah, it's kind of broken. They can't follow him, but... Yes.
And then we flip back to Deke, and he's driving around town, and all he sees is just tons of dead people. Dead people everywhere. Yeah. People in cars, people just bloody on the road. And then he plays a little game of hide and seek from this ice cream truck.
Yeah.
And he jumps behind bushes and stuff. And as he's hiding, then a lawnmower starts up.
Yeah.
And kind of chases him a bit down the freeway, which is kind of funny. It's just this lawnmower is just ominously driving behind him.
Slow,
just a little like hand push.
Slow as can be.
Yeah.
And apparently he got someone because it's a pretty bloody.
It's very bloody.
Lawnmower.
Yes. And back at the truck stop, Duncan comes out with his eyes bleeding and says he wants to find his son. And, nobody can stop him. And he's seeing double and he's going to go find him. And then as he's walking out, he's kind of wandering. And he
can't see very well.
No, he can't see
They're trying to stop
anything.
him. Bill's, what are you doing, Duncan? I gotta find my boy.
Yeah.
And he's walking out. He dumps his keys. He's going to pick him up. And the Green Goblin, I think. Is it the Green Goblin or...
Yeah, could be.
Yeah.
It's one of them.
Yeah, he comes and just plows into him.
Ooh, just turns him into smush.
Yeah, he gets killed.
Yes. And then the Bible dude, Camp, he also gets backed up by a truck. And it was the Green Goblin that backs up on him, so it must have been the same.
Yes, because it hit his car. And
yes.
He was freaking out as he was trying to sell some Bibles. And...
to Wanda June.
Yeah, and he's out there, swearing at he's a driver.
Yes.
I'm going to get you, I'm going to cut him off, and I'm going to show you, Jesus Christ, Murphy. Mm-hmm. And it just kind of backs up right into him and sends him flying into the ditch.
Yes.
And he's presumed dead.
And then the trucks start, really ominously just circling this gas station.
Yeah, they all kind of, all the trucks that have to stop, they just start doing...
which
do-si-do to keep it's like a shark circling their meal.
Yeah, which I thought was just a waste of gas. If you're gonna be creepy, just go do something. Go chase some people down.
Oh, they are.
Maybe it's a remote area and they know that there's people in there.
And also they'll just blowing their horns, repeatedly and not stopping. That can be a little unnerving.
For sure. Ooh, I would hate that. And so we flip back to Connie and Curtis. And now they're flying down the freeway, and this truck starts chasing them. I think it's the same truck. Is it the same truck?
No, it's a different truck.
Is it?
Because they're going one direction, and there's a bunch of other trucks and semis going the other way.
Mm.
And they're going, what's going on? Where are they going? I don't know. And so one truck kind of pulls off behind them and starts chasing them and banging into them. And they're trying to get away. They're due to the driving is ridiculous. There's a turnoff.
Yes.
He goes from turnoff to back to the main, and then the truck goes back to turnoff. Come on, that's not going to work.
Yeah, Curtis is not a very good getaway driver. No. I wouldn't ask him to rob a bank with me. No. So, but that's okay.
But they managed. He does a little maneuver at the end.
Quick turn.
And the semi can't turn quite quick enough. And it rolls down to a ditch and explodes. Yeah,
it flips, and as it's or not flips. As it's driving down into the ditch, it's you can see it on fire, and just this huge explosion. I was like, okay, that's the kind of movie we're getting into. It was hilarious. This is just a fun movie to watch. It's just fun. It's kind of like Tremors. It reminds me of just so ridiculous. It's fun.
Comparing the two, I'd give Tremors the edge because it's
for
more... For
sure.
The characters are better.
Yes.
It's a more funner...
Kevin Bacon.
I
think he beats Emilio Estevez. I just gotta say it. Emilio doesn't do a thing for me.
See, young Emilio,
Emilio!
That joke. I don't know. Oh. When we get to Tremors, I'm waiting now. I'm excited now to do Tremors.
We should add Tremors. I'm going to write it down. Yeah. We'll do it soon.
That'll be early next year.
Yeah. So after this truck crashes, Connie and Curtis, they drive to the truck stop. And once they get there, one of the trucks kind of pit maneuvers them, basically. And they flip.
Yes. Yeah, because they're doing the circle and they kind of think, there's a gap. We can make it.
Right.
And Bill's like, oh, what are these guys doing? They're not going to make it.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's right.
Yeah, he was right. And they almost did. But now the truck caught him at the end. They kind of flipped him over. And Brett and Bill go and help him out. And Connie, I don't know how she got all tangled up in the...
It's like her arm. She's like, Curtis, my arm is trapped, Curtis. And Nick and I are like, well, just leave her.
Yeah.
She's fine. No love lost.
No, yeah, but Brett and Bill run out there. Brett gets a switchblade out of her boot.
Her straight razor.
Yeah, gives it to Bill, and he cuts the belt. And she's like, hope that's sharp. Don't cut me. Don't cut me. I'm like, oh, shut up.
Stop it.
Shut up.
Stop it.
Cut her.
Cut her. Make it look like an accident.
And they get him inside. And just to do that, Bubba comes out, him and Joey. He's got a fucking rocket launcher.
Yes, like a bazooka-looking thing.
Yeah. Where did that come from?
Why?
And he shoots and blows up the one truck that was chasing Bill and them down.
Yeah. And then he shoots another. He actually shoots 2 trucks.
He gets 2, and he's all excited.
Oh, he's jazzed.
And Bill, he's more of the kind of smarter guys here. Smarter than Joey.
Yes.
And, what else you got down there? Oh, Joey's like, we got lots. And Bubba's like, Joey, shut up. That's Joey.
Sorry. Jason? Jason.
Good callback. And so we kind of get an idea that there is like a stockpile in the basement.
And we go to a super quick cut to the baseball kid who sees the smash truck that Curtis and Connie, like, it blew up in the ditch or whatever, and then sees a plane flying with no pilot, and he's like, hops on his bike and goes to the truck stop. And then we actually get to see the arsenal in the basement.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a little, in all its glory.
We get like a little bathroom scene first. Joey's with a nice porno, taking a dump. Bill comes in, he's taking a pee, he's like trying to, Joey, what's down there? Has he got a lot in there? I can't tell you. Come on, Joey, this is pretty serious. You gotta tell me what's down there. Okay, he's got a lot. Really? Okay, gets the keys, and Joey's like, this is a big mess we're in now. Yeah. And we see Bill and Brett go down there, and there's just like he's got an arsenal,
machine guns, and assault rifles.
Like, he is loaded for not just two bears.
What did he think was happening? But he kind of tries to explain it away, like, oh, he buys tea cheap and sells high because that's the American way.
Yeah, you would get the idea that Bubba's really kind of a sleazy, slimy.
Bubba is to me what Connie is to you. Like, I just hate Bubba. And he calls everybody Bubba. Hey, Bubba. Yeah. It's okay, Bubba. He drives me nuts.
Like, the Slimes movie is very... Where are they from? Not Carolina. Where's the setting for this movie?
I'm not sure. I did look it up, but I don't remember.
It's
like Massachusetts or something.
It's somewhere... It's south-ish. It's like... Yeah. It's just got that twang.
You bet.
A little southern twang to it. Yeah. And, so Bubba comes down and...
he's pissed.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you found out. And he kind of... because Brett and Bill are kind of flirting. And they're kind of got a little thing going on there. And he kind of spills Bill's secrets there, how he was a bad boy. They went and robbed a bank and... cops found him, he kind of just froze. Yeah. And he kind of threatens Bill a bit, when this is all done, you'll get yours. You'll be out of here. Yeah. And Bill's like, good, I want to get out of here. Fuck you. Yeah. And
Bill kind of grows some cojones in this scene. Yeah. He's finally like, I don't like you. He calls him a fuckface like 3 times in this movie. Yeah. He just kind of lets it fly at the end. And then after we have this scene, it cuts to Brett and Bill like post-coitus cuddle. Yeah. In the arsenal room. But I mean, listen, if I was going to call rooms in the truck stop, I would call that too. I would feel safe as sleeping around a bunch of guns if there's a bunch of, like, scary trucks around me, right?
Yeah, I'd be... Like it shows up soon, really soon here after this. Because Bill and Brett have a little moment under the in the arsenal room, and we see Deke. He appears. He's at the gas station, gates. But he can't get across because all the semis spin around. So he kind of tries to get through the
sewer grate, kind of.
Yeah,
like that goes like under the freeway.
Yeah, like for water and all that. Right. And it's it's caged off. He's like, crap. So he kind of just hides there for the night. Yeah. And we got all the truckers and workers in there drinking and just eating. And Wanda June is just smashed.
Gosh. Poor Wanda June.
She is just a rough day. Smashed. Ugh. And she stumbles out there screaming, we made you. We made you. And there's overacting.
Yeah.
But then this is good overacting.
Oh, it was such a good scene.
She's just screaming out, "We made you," and just such a, like, not viable. Just she's spitting it out like,
she's so mad.
And it's not so mad, but she's like, it's like she snapped. Like she's drunk and she just snapped.
And she says it like so many times that it's like, ooh.
Yeah, she just doesn't. It's like she's, like I said, she snapped. She isn't thinking clearly.
Mm-hmm.
She thinks yelling at the trucks is gonna actually do something.
Yeah, like they're gonna be like, "Oh, so sorry, Wanda June, you did make us. Actually, we'll stop."
Yeah, and Bill runs out and grabs her and brings her back inside and tries to calm her down as the lights start flickering on and off.
And this truck stop scene is my favorite part, I think. Nick is sick of me saying it already, but they're just kind of flashing between different people doing stuff. And there's the one trucker is sitting there, and you can see in the subtitles, he's just like, it's quiet, but if you're watching with subtitles, he's just like, I like spoons.
Well, because just before this, the trying to use the jukebox, or Joey is, and it explodes. The jukebox explodes.
Yes, right.
And so we got, I think it's, I forget his name, not Brad, but this other guy.
Yeah.
He you hear him clicking the spoons into as a song, and I think it's Bub or something. Quit that! Put those away. He's like, I like spoons.
It's just so good. It's gonna be my new slogan in life, I think, is just I like spoons. And then they cut to Curtis and Connie, and it looks like the coat is over top of Connie, and he's like,
they're doing something.
He's like diddling her or something.
Well,
there's something going on under that
he's
coat.
Like whispering, in her ear, but she's giggling away. I'm like, he's pinching her nipple or something.
Like, something's going on.
Yeah.
It is their honeymoon night.
That's true.
It's not exactly how somebody would want to spend their honeymoon, but
I'm pretty sure Bill and Brett got farther than those two did right now.
Oh, for sure. For sure. She was going to take what she could get at that point. Yeah. Oh, yes. So we cut to Bible salesman dude, Mr. Camp fellow. They hear him yelling all of a sudden.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. They hear him. He's moaning away. Like, he's not dead. He's like, no, we got to save him.
Yes. So Bill and Curtis run out to go help him. They devise a plan that, because they can't run across the parking lot, which is where he is. He's in, a ravine kind of just off the parking lot.
Yeah, Bill's got an idea about how to go to the shower change room and
drop down
to the
drain.
sewer and go to where the other side of the road is.
Right.
And we get a neat little kind of funny scene where they drop, they tie a rope and they crawl down. They're going through it, and
I wrote down what Curtis is saying.
Curtis is enjoying this a little too much.
Yeah, Curtis is really into this. So as they're just crawling through, he goes, I wonder how many people have peed in this. And then Bill is kind of distracted and kind of half stumbles and it splashes in his face. And Curtis is like, how's it taste?
Curtis is a very odd
Stephen
duck.
King, what were you doing? What were you doing in this movie?
He did a lot of cocaine writing this story and movie.
I could just imagine being like, okay, it's the actor, ask him how it tastes.
It's funny.
Oh,
yeah, so they get through, they break
so
out.
Funny. Yeah,
and
so
see, and as they're going through, Deke, he stumbles across
the Bible
guy.
Camp.
And his eyes are open, he's not moving, not breathing. So he kind of, Mister, he kind of pokes him a bit, checks his, puts his ear to his chest, nothing. Goes to leave. And of course he springs up, scares Alana.
Scared me. I think the whole first hour and 15 minutes of this movie lulled me into a fake sense of security. So I was not expecting it at all.
And he's grabbing Deke and Bill and them, they kind of pop out and they hear him and he's shouting, Bill, help me, get him off me. And so they go and they drag him away. And of course the trucks hear him. Right. And so they chase him. Then we find out that Bible guy, he's dead. He's just dead all of a sudden. Yeah. And okay, whatever. And so they grab Deke. Yep. Drag him into the sewer tunnel. just as the truck smashes through.
Yes.
And they're both all up and safe and sound.
And then Bill, once they get to the truck stop, pulls the bazooka out of wherever and is like, "How you like this?" Bazooka's one of them.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Deke is like, how's my dad? How's my dad? Everybody's kind of like looking around. And then Bubba says something really stupid like, "Oh, we got creamed by one of these trucks and blah, blah, blah." And everybody's just looking at him like, "You asshole." And then I think Brett actually says, like, "You're a dick." Like,
and she slaps him.
Yeah.
It's a good little slap.
Yeah. And so then Deke is like, "Oh, like, is it true? Is it true?" And everybody's like, "Yeah, sorry." Yeah.
He's a little distraught. And Bill, he knows Bill. Bill's, he's there to comfort him a bit.
Yes.
And we kind of get a little of a cut to the morning, and everyone's sleeping but Deke. Deke is...
eating.
Yeah, is he eating?
I think he's eating.
He's doing something. No, he's blowing bubbles.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
This boy who just found
Why would I think he's doing something normal?
I don't know. It's kind of creepy because his dad's dead.
But he's just like dead eyes, like blowing bubbles.
I'm just going to blow some bubbles.
This is how I cope. Oh, yeah, and then the bulldozer and the army car show up.
Yeah, a little cart with a machine gun on it show up.
Yes.
And he goes and wakes up Bill. Bill, something's happening. And the bulldozer kind of moves some of the destroyed semis away from the pumps.
And it creates a hole in the restaurant. The bulldozer pushes the car into the restaurant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it creates a hole so they can talk.
Yes. And the little machine gun cart starts honking his horn in Morse code.
Yes.
And I was like, well, what's that doing? And Deke was like, I know what that is. That's Morse code. I got a badge for it. And really, well, what's it saying? So he gets pen and paper and writes out. Basically, it says, we need food. No one will be harmed.
Yeah.
If you don't, you will die.
Yeah, everyone will die.
Yeah. So Bill's like, okay, you know what? I got this. Bill gets a little where he gets kind of the courage and he jokes about it and knocks a bottle off the counter, walks out there, and no, you know what? I take that back. We forgot part. Machine gun goes and starts shooting people.
Yeah, and Bubba bazookas the bulldozer.
Yes, that's right. I totally forgot. Yeah, so yeah.
I was kind of lost in my notes. I was like, where did I put Morse code? I wrote it down.
I forgot because people die here.
That's okay. So Bubba dies. So
a lot of this is kind of rinse and repeat.
Yes, it's the same thing over and over. Yeah.
And so bulldozer he bulldozes Bubba's car into the store.
And his license plate is Bubba, by the way.
He likes Bubba. And he gets a bazooka. Basically doesn't do any damage really serious. It just blows like the cover off the bulldozer.
Yeah.
And the machine gun kills Bubba.
Mm-hmm.
Shoots two other of the
random truckers.
The truckers.
Yeah.
And of course, Wanda June gets free, runs out there.
Runs out with a gun.
We made you! You can't do this to us! We made you! Shoots her.
Yeah.
Dead.
Machine guns just boop, 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 boop.
And then he gets the Morse code. They get and Bill comes out and he kind of covers up Wanda June's face.
Yeah.
And
with a plaid tablecloth.
Yeah. I was going to blow away because it's windy out.
Yeah.
And he basically starts filling up all the semis.
Yes. Yeah.
And it I guess it's like an all-day thing.
It's a montage with some good music. I think it's Hell's Bells is playing.
Yes, it is. Hell's Bells plays because it's like it's like a signal. They hear the bell.
Yes.
To come fuel up, and you get everyone there is filling up the semis. And,
they're all look like they're getting heat stroke because they're acting like drunk.
Yes, I think it's heat stroke because it's so hot out.
Yes.
Brett, she's kind of losing it, going a little
mumbling
loopy.
And.
Yeah, this one guy kind of, I think it was Brad, he shows up and let me take over and yeah, thanks. Hope they choke on it. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, that's
and
fair.
She kind of stumbles over and she's kind of leaning against one of the flatbed decks of the semis. And the camera pans up and it's just miles lined up of vehicles for fuel. And as Bill, he's filling up one more and it runs out.
Yeah.
And you can tell he's just exhausted.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, that's it. You're all done. And the semi starts kind of gets a little rammy and pushes him. And sure enough, it's a diesel.
Mm-hmm. It's a diesel truck.
So it basically pulls over to where they refuel and
pops a big old hose down the hole, and
he's
they're back in business
refueling. And I forget one of the other guys shows up. I think it's
it was one of the
Handy.
Yeah, Handy.
The guy who's actually who drove the
Green Goblin
one in. He kind of drags away. You get some rest. We'll take over and we'll plan something. And this is where Bill he starts
piecing it together.
Yeah, they're not because Brett says it's the comet. She's so dead sure that it's to tell the comet. They're just possessing. We got last just for
7 days. It was.
Yeah, so 5 more days and we'll be fine. And he's like, no, it's a broom.
Yeah,
it's a broom. Like, what's he talking about? And we get this weird little scene where she's basically tickling him with a hand.
Yeah, she's like the very corner, like dabbing the top of his head.
It's not even wet, he's not sweating.
And his hands are like all gross and blistered. Like, girl, wrap those up.
Yeah. And how he explained how if you're from a different planet, you want to come and take over this one planet.
Yes.
Without getting your hands dirty, you send something beforehand to clean up.
Yes.
And so he's insinuating that these all the machines are like the broom. They're sweeping away humanity, cleaning up all the making it good for the aliens to come in and take over. And I'm thinking, he's crazy.
Yes.
He's heat stroke. He's not thinking straight.
Yeah.
So, but it's...
And it is a weird analogy, and he's because it's just such a weird scene, I think, it kind of gets lost.
Yeah.
But then Bill walks back out, and he sees a guy. I think it's Brad is the one that he sees kind of freaking out.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's, and this guy's like, I don't know if I can do it, and all this stuff, and Bill is like, okay, well, just follow what I'm saying, let's walk inside.
Yeah. When I say run.
I say run. And he's like, what? And he's like, when I say run, just run. And so then all of a sudden he just whips a pin out of a grenade, drops the grenade on the army machine, which seems to be the brains behind the operation. And it's just,
I'd say muscle.
Yeah, sure.
Muscle. I'd say brain
communicator.
Brain to be Green Goblin. Muscle would be machine gun guy.
Yeah, and he can communicate, I guess. I don't know why nobody else could have communicated with Morse code, but oh well, they've all got horns. But so he pulls the grenade and they run. And
he spins the machine gun so they can't get like a bead on them.
Right.
And they just book her into the
diner
shop.
area. Yeah.
And boom, blows up the machine gun.
Woo. And so they all make their escape. They've been planning, the sewer where Deke got in. So they all start going, and the trucks all of a sudden start smashing the restaurant, like
they're
just driving.
Off.
Yeah, they're mad. So they're driving full tilt into this restaurant, which, they should have been doing the whole time if they wanted to get rid of them. Yeah. So they smash the restaurant to smithereens. The truck stop, and then again, of course, once they're all through the grate, the whole truck stop just blows up.
Well, that's because one of the trucks was carrying liquid nitrogen or something, and there's a spark, and boom.
And boom.
Big explosion.
Yeah.
But I think we're just saying they didn't do before because they need the humans to
fuel up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So then they start running across town. They're trying to get to the marina because Bill has this idea that if they get to this island called Haven.
Yeah. When him and Brett are having a little after sex
coitus. Yeah.
He's talking about, have you ever been on a boat? He's like, yeah, well. Because I know where there's a marina here. There's boats with no motors. We can just sailboats, and go to this place called Haven, this little island that has no electronics, nothing. Yeah. And so she's like, yeah, okay. So that's kind of his plan.
Yeah. So they're headed to the marina, and they hear the ice cream truck, I think, and they stop at this diner and hide behind a wall. And the diner, which is like a McDonald's sort of a thing. Food. Yeah, it's a fast food sort of a thing. It just says diner across the front. And the speaker starts going, humans here, humans here, humans here.
Which is, it's weird, like the drive-through order window or thing you place orders with all the menu, is speaking to them.
Yes.
In the where the menu orders you items you order.
Yeah.
Human tier.
Yeah.
And it's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
And Deke has a little psycho moment, kind of
Deke
walks
has a machine gun. Who gave the 8-year-old a machine gun?
That's dangerous. And he shoots the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
And he gives the gun to Brett. I don't want this anymore.
And Nick and I were both like, good.
Oh,
take it.
Boy.
Why did he have it?
Like the thing that did nothing to his father.
No.
Just, I'm blowing this thing up.
So, thank goodness. But, so then they finally get to the marina. And this is the big, boss battle. So they're running to the marina. Choo, choo, choo. And then Brad is the last one. And they're running past this car where this lady died in the window, like getting smushed by the window. And she's got a big old shiner on her finger.
That's the
huge diamond ring.
Biggest, that must have cost.
It was like a snow globe.
It's so gaudy.
Yeah. So he stops and sees it and runs over and pulls it off her finger. And he's like examining it and kisses it. And then he gets hit by the Green Goblin. Like, it smushes him.
And he just stands and goes,
ah.
Reaction shot as it's a good, probably 200 feet away.
Right. But it's like the Austin Powers shot. Where it's like,
it's a little faster.
Get out of the way!
move. Yeah. So Brad gets killed by the Green Goblin. Bill jumps out with the rocket launcher.
Emilio Estevez ain't gonna let that fly.
Nope, blows him up.
Yeah, with his little bazooka grenade launcher thing, which seems to be the only weapon that worked this whole movie.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a good weapon.
And then
the thing is, I'm sure he had enough ammo to take out all the semis at first.
Yes.
But they didn't.
No.
Stupid Bubba.
And then they ride off into the sunset on a boat, basically.
Yeah.
And then we get some more...
With Connie complaining that she's going to be seasick.
I'm going to... What did she say?
I'm going to... something my cookies. I'm gonna dangle or jangle my cookies.
Yeah.
It's...
Curtis. God. Nick and I were like, just push her overboard.
And at the end, again, like you said, we have a little bit more exposition how 2 days later, a Russian, in quotation marks, Russian weather satellite armed
with a convenient placed
armed
gun.
with missiles and a nuclear missile took out a UFO.
Yes.
And sure enough, then a couple more days later, the Earth passes through the comet tail, and everything's back to normal.
Right.
So, smart Bill, he figured it out. He figured it out.
In his heat stroke, figured it out.
And you know what? On the aliens' part, that's not a bad idea.
No, not at all.
To have the comet tail be kind of the cover story.
Right.
When really they're sending down the signals to take out humanity with all their machines so they can swoop in and take over.
You bet.
It's not a bad idea.
No, not horrible.
No, and the end.
And that was it.
Movie over.
Somehow. In traditional 80s fashion, they don't tie up any loose ends. It's just roll credits.
Survivors escape and nothing
We assume they make it out okay.
Yeah. We assume.
Who knows?
Yeah.
They could have, after that shot was taken, they could have sunk the boat.
Thrown
Connie overboard.
As they're traveling, running to the marina, there's a shot of an airplane.
Yes.
Pointing straight down into a school bus.
Yes.
I saw them that's hilarious. That's probably the plane we saw earlier that was flying over chasing Deke. And it's just such a very funny looking scene where he just plane straight up and down, smash into the top of a school bus. Some
of these things that were meant to be kind of suspenseful or scary are just hilarious.
Yeah. Again, if you go, it tried to be a horror, but it couldn't.
Yeah.
It's too campy.
It's just
the actors and actresses were a little
over the top or just not good in general.
No. Yeardley Smith as Lisa, cool.
Yeah.
As Connie,
this is before Simpsons, though, so she didn't know. Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure. This is 86.
And didn't The Simpsons start in 88?
Yes, but there was they had the shorts.
Yeah.
On what's her name? This little talk show she had, or
yep.
kind of variety show. And the Simpsons were on there for quite a few years. I think this is right when they started.
Sure.
So I think she was doing Lisa by this time.
Sure.
I think she was.
Well, her voice sounds the same, so it must just be her voice.
Oh, yeah.
She just, I mean, obviously for this movie, put the southern twang on it, but yeah.
Didn't help.
No, doesn't help her character.
Okay, Alana, how would you rate this out of 5 Horr-Gasms?
Well, I will tell you right now, I would rate it 2 out of 5. First star is for the music, second star is for I Like Spoons, and that's where the 2 stars come from. I like, it was fine. It was kind of an enjoyable movie. Like, I'd probably watch it again, but more for like, okay, you guys, I know this bad movie that's like not bad enough where it's like, okay, when is this over? You know, there's like those movies that are so bad that they're unwatchable. This is not one of those movies. It's fun. Like, it's a fun bad movie.
It's not a bad movie. It is not a bad movie.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it in the normal sense of like, you know what I mean?
It's a bad movie.
Like, I didn't like it in the normal sense of like, wow, like, you know, I want to tell somebody to watch this. It would almost be jokingly like, listen, you gotta watch this. You won't believe it. I don't know. It wasn't for me. It was funny. I just don't think, especially as a horror movie, it didn't do a thing for me. No. But it was fun.
This is no Christine.
I've never seen that one either.
Nearby. Well,
I think it's on our list, though.
It's
I think we
coming up
bumped
soon.
it.
It's coming up soon.
Mm-hmm. So how about you?
2.5.
Interesting.
2.5 out of 5 Horr-Gasms.
Yeah.
It wasn't the worst movie. I've seen worse.
Yes.
It's entertaining. It's got some star power. Esteval. It's got AC/DC. The music is great in this movie. It's a very small, not big budget flick.
Right.
It works when it wants to. Like I said, like the biggest thing is the Green Goblin sound.
Right.
Like that's just probably the star of the movie itself.
Right.
If they weren't censored as much as they were,
yeah,
it could have been a little more enjoyable with the graphic, some of the deaths.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if that would have saved it though.
No, but maybe a little more. Maybe it could have been more.
And there were too many like I get plot points that have holes in them, and I don't think that in depth when I watch a movie. I go in there expecting to be entertained, so I'm biased usually when I watch movies, because as long as I'm entertained, I'm fine with it. But this one, like, why weren't the machines in the coffee or in the truck stop attacking them?
Yeah, why
was it selective?
Why didn't Connie and Curtis's car do something?
That's exactly it. I think that there were just too many that I couldn't be like, okay, that's fine.
The inconsistencies are vast for this movie.
Yeah.
Like Deke's dad died.
Yeah.
Like that next morning, a couple hours later, he's blowing bubbles.
Yeah.
And he has a little bit of revenge when he blows up or shoots out the ordering window.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
No one seems to be feeling any. There's no grief, no guilt, no nothing. It's a very bland.
Mm-hmm. It's just you can just tell that Stephen King was on drugs when he was making it. I think.
He was. So much cooking. He was going through rehab as they're shooting this.
Right. So I feel like you can kind of tell like he was not at his best.
They had I forget his name. They had someone help co-direct this movie.
Okay. But Stephen King even has said that he doesn't like this movie so much. He doesn't think he did it justice.
George A. Romero.
Okay.
He kind of ghost directed this movie.
Okay.
While Stephen King was in rehab.
Yeah. Getting his problems worked out. But again, like, it was enjoyable. Like, I wouldn't, like, it's not unwatchable by any means. No. It's just goofy. Like, if you're going in looking for something goofy, then this is probably it.
Yeah.
It's not scary.
We had fun making fun of this movie.
Oh, we had so much fun.
Made fun of every movie.
Yes.
But these ones are extra fun because we can really make fun of the actors, the scenes.
Yes.
And just have fun with it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah. What do you think would be Ichabod's kill of the flick?
Well, I would definitely have to say that it would be almost a scene more than just a kill of the flick. I think we talked more about the pop can scene with the Little Leaguers because of the steamroller kid and the coach getting just destroyed by the pop can in his head.
I think that was the best graphic death in the film, was just the bloody imprint of the pop can in his forehead. You can tell, like, his death scene acting, great. Like,
really great.
He looked really, like he had a concussion. Like, he had
and you can
brain
feel
damage.
that when it's like hitting him in the groin and the stomach. Like, you can feel that.
Yeah. Oof. Like, that was a great death.
Yes.
Same with the steamroller. Could have been a little bit more to it.
Right.
But you don't see that very often. You don't see a good steamroller death.
No. It's a good one.
Yeah. So I agree with you. The whole just the whole Little League scene.
Yeah.
I think Icky was liking it the most.
She was.
That caught her attention, and she's like, "All right, well, nap."
Okay, back to nap.
Yeah. Nap time.
Oh, and next week, Nick, we're going to be watching one of your favorite movies.
This could be my second favorite movie of all time. Alien.
I'm excited.
I love this movie.
I'm excited.
And we have a special guest coming.
A special guest.
I'm not saying who it is. We will find out next episode.
Yes.
But he is a very good friend of mine. And I know he will love to hear what he has to say about this movie, because he's seen it with me countless times.
Yeah.
We've seen it in theaters together twice. I've seen it 3 times myself in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
I love this movie.
We're going to have fun.
I cannot stress how much I love this fucking movie.
And I'm kind of opposite, where I love it, but I think it's a cute little movie. I have this problem where I think the aliens are cute.
Yep.
And I just think they're adorable. With your little baby mouths that go burp, burp, burp. Burp, 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 burp. They're adorable.
I can't wait. I really can't
either. Oh, thank you, everybody, for joining us. This episode was brought to you, as always, by our executive producer, Ichabod. We hope you enjoyed your Horr-Gasm as much as we did. Please don't forget to rate, download, and subscribe to us. Also, like and follow us on Facebook at Horr-Gasm Podcast, Instagram at Horr-Gasm, and Twitter at GasmHorror. If you have a movie you'd like us to review, this is the best way to let us know. We hope to see you again next week, because we have such sights to show you. Plenty of Horr-Gasms for you to experience.